Welcome back. Authorities in the US have grounded more than 170 Boeing 737 MAX 9s. They have all had the same part as that Alaska Airlines plane, which had a door or a panel blow out mid-air. The pilots were forced to make an emergency landing and, incredibly, there were no serious injuries to the crew or passengers.
That is amazing, Mon, isn't it? Now, the US will now inspect the planes that have been grounded. The Civil Aviation Safety Authority says there are no airlines flying that particular aircraft here in Australia. So let's find out a bit more with aviation expert Keith Tonkin. Keith, good morning. This is like something you would see in the movies, and it's probably every passenger's nightmare, but just explain to us how this actually happened.
Morning, Mark. Well, this aircraft type, the 737 MAX 9, comes equipped with 5 pairs of exit doors, particularly for the larger number of passengers where have higher density seating configuration. The 5th pair of doors between the wing and the rear operates as an emergency exit. Alaska Airlines operates those aircraft in a 3-class configuration and doesn't need those exit doors to be operational. So they remove the exit door and replace it with a plug, and that's installed with 4 bolts. Now, this aircraft was on climb out through 16,000 feet and experienced a rapid depressurisation. The door was blown out due to the higher pressure differential inside the aircraft. Luckily, no one was injured or otherwise hurt.
This is horrific. I mean, it really is, and it's just extraordinarily lucky that no one was seated in the 2 seats next to where that panel blew out. I mean, I'm assuming this could have been a very different result. How dangerous is this fleet?
Well, the aircraft type has suffered various different problems through its history. Knowing Boeing has thousands of these 737s operating around the world in various variants from decades ago, but this most recent variant, the MAX variant fleet, has had various different issues, and I think Boeing's really not meeting the safety expectations we have of this aircraft at the moment.
Yeah, this is terrifying, Keith. So just explain, do we know what might have prompted this to happen? I mean, obviously there's this plug has been put on the exit. Do we know why now it went and what might have caused it?
We don't know. The investigation is ongoing, and the Federal Aviation Administration put out a call for people to have a look around and try and find the plug, because that will help to answer some of those questions.
Wow. OK.
Sitting in your backyard somewhere.
Keith, lots of us are travelling at this time of year. For you, are you confident to get on one of these 737 MAXs?
I am, yes. The aircraft has been grounded, and the inspections that are required of them will resolve the issue that the FAA has identified for the plug itself to make sure they're all bolted on properly. It's a very isolated and specific issue that is being resolved, and as you mentioned, they're not flying in Australia at the moment.
Keith, just on that plug, are there any other aircraft types that use that sort of plug that maybe will also be checked?
Well, it's a common solution to the problem of closing a hole in an aircraft around the world in all sorts of different aircraft types, and it's difficult to understand, given the relatively common situation, how this could have happened. But the main issue there is to check that the bolts are done up, or that they're strong enough to hold that plug in place while it receives that pressure differential inside the aircraft.
Yeah, you can imagine how disconcerting it is to be asked if you're a passenger to search for the plug, for the door. No, thank you. All right, Keith Tonkin, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate your insights.
Yeah.